your boy, Tasnet, the best young football analyst. So if you're new to this page, please do subscribe and the like button. So not long ago, around 3 p.m., the game started at 4 p.m. actually. It was Arsenal versus Wolverhampton. You know, it was a great game between the two. And obviously, that's what the video is about. Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal was playing their home game at Emirates. The opening fixture for Arsenal this season. And they opened it with a banger. They opened it with a 2-0 win. A clean sheet for David Ryan's two center backs, which is Salib and Gabriel. But again, a lucky start from Arsenal. You know, very worrying. I would be concerned if I was coach Michael Arteta. I would be concerned on how do I proceed to the next game? How do I fix this problem? Because it's a huge problem. All those who watched the game and saw how Arsenal started in the first half and the difference on how Arsenal started in the second half, they will then conclude that Arsenal might have won, but there's a lot that needs to be fixed. There's a lot. But that's my job, to analyze what needs to be fixed and what needs to be not fixed. So yeah, let's get into it. So I would like to start with the approach of Arsenal and Wolves. You know, still the same approach like last season. Arsenal, they came to the game with a 4-1-2-3, a 4-1-2-3 with David Raya as their goalkeeper, with Ben White and Zinchenko as the fullbacks, with Salib and Gabriel as the centre backs. Then in the midfield, the holding midfield, the 4-1-2-3, the holding midfield was Thomas Partey. Then the two midfielders in front of Thomas Partey were Rice and Odegaard. Then the front three was Saka, Havertz and Martinelli. But now, why? Yes, some people would say it's a 4-2-3-1 because Rice is a defensive midfielder. But you look into the game, the position play, the instructions, the tactical team, the advice that they have given Rice and the duty that they had given Rice in the game, that you know what, Rice, Thomas Partey will be the one to hold the play, will be the one to play behind the front five, which is Odegaard, Rice, Havertz, Martinelli and Saka. You Rice, you can do anything, you're given a free role play. But in most cases, we saw Rice playing more of a 10, helping out Martinelli in most cases, and we saw Odegaard helping out Saka. That's why I say it's a 4-1-2-3. And as I've said, in their approach, they will build the ball from the back. You know, when building the ball from the back, you would see that Zinchenko even drops and go inside the midfield to try and collect the ball, assisting Partey. Then they will form a three-dimensional shape in the back when building for the ball. It will be Ben White, Salib, and Gabriel. So I think they did that because just in case the ball breaks out, they'll be able to recover easily because they've got three players. As we know that Ben White started off as a centre back, although now it's a right back, but he started off as a centre back. But we didn't see much of Ben White going forward. The Ben White that we know will overlap and get in the crosses because of the pressing of Wolves. You know, yes, Wolves also came with the same approach. We used to build from the back. Jose Esse, we know how cool and calm collected he is as a goalkeeper. So yes, and their two centre backs, which were Tati, Gomez, and Masqueza, very good performance from Masqueza. It was a great duel between him and Havertz. You know, at some point they wanted to fight. At some point one was strangling the other. I don't know what was happening. You know, yeah. But that's the love of football. A centre back and a striker dueling with one another. Although some would say Havertz is not a striker, but the way Arsenal plays him, he's playing more of a striker than as a full striker. You know, because they put him there to hold up the ball, to move the ball, because Havertz is able to move the ball. So he doesn't only hold up the ball for you, but he's also able to move it. Now, there was great interplay between him and Bukayo Saka. Even when Saka scored his goals, you know, he was assisted by Havertz. When Havertz scored his goal, he was assisted by Saka. So you didn't understand the combination play between Havertz and Saka. But again, when Arsenal building from the back, what I loved about Wolves is one thing. Every time Arsenal builds from the back, they have 4 or 5 players in the Arsenal half, and they are pressing Arsenal. And what does Arsenal want? Arsenal wants Wolves to attack them. Look, Arsenal is building from the back, right? They take Zinchenko, drops inside the midfield. They've got 3 players who can collect the ball from the defense to link with the attack, right? Yeah, it's Zinchenko, it's Rice, it's Thomas Partey. Odegaard, this is what I've been wanting from Arsenal. Odegaard not worrying too much about helping the midfield, but worrying too much about linking the midfield to the attacking, which means having that mindset that, you know what, in this game my aim is to attack, not to hold up not to organize the midfield. Now having to play Partey and Rice, now you're taking the stress away from Odegaard to help out the midfield. He will know that I need to help out the front three, which is Havertz and Saka and Martinelli. If you want an example, I'll go to Man City. Rodri does it all by himself, and he makes sure that he holds up the midfield. And holding up the midfield, Kevin De Bruyne only needs to worry about the front three, which is usually Haaland, Bernardo Silva, Doku, Grealish, Foden. It goes on and on. So this is what I wanted at Arsenal, and today it happened. Although it had few lucky stats, but we're gonna get there. So you've got these three players who are trying to collect the ball. You've got Wolves who have got 4 to 6 players in the Arsenal half. They press Arsenal. Now Arsenal forms a third dimension when they are trying to move that ball. What does Arsenal want? Arsenal wants Wolves to try and press them to get the ball. Then they will move the ball. Now imagine when 4 or 5 players of Wolves are in Arsenal half. Imagine the players that are now in the half of Wolves. That means there are few of them. Then there are 4 players who are ready to attack, which is Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, and Martinelli. They are ready to attack. Saka and Martinelli have gone wide. Odegaard is standing behind Havertz. So you see, this is what I'm talking about. That Odegaard, I've always wanted Odegaard to focus more on taking than organizing the midfield. And today it happened, although yes, then they almost cost us. Because for being honest, this match could have been a draw. But the star boy Bukayo Saka risen up to the task, and this proves what I said a few months ago. I think it was in May when I analyzed Foden and analyzed Saka, and I said who's the best, and I said Saka is better than Foden. Saka proved it. That Saka in the Euro, I couldn't see the Euro. I couldn't watch the Euro though. I couldn't watch the Euro due to some reasons. The Euro played on June. Those who know where I was on June, they know. So yeah, Saka was I saw Saka starts 7 games, 1 goal. I saw Foden starts 7 games, 0 goals. So it's usually Saka's always better than Foden when it comes to the English national team. Let me not talk much about Saka and Foden because it's already a debate, and it's gonna become a huge debate, not only England but around the world. Maybe because it's not a huge debate around the world because both of them come from the same nation. And Saka always proves to be better than Foden when playing for England. And today Saka risen up. And that's the only reason Arsenal won, because they've got brilliant stars. They've got brilliant individual stars. Today, Arsenal won because of individual brilliance. And that won't always work for them. That's what Mikel Arteta needs to fix. He needs to try and get combination player within the team. Because yes, you can see the combination player within the team. Thomas Partey drops and collects the ball, and he's able to move. But now it's only Thomas. Yes, Zinchenko tries to collect the ball, but when Zinchenko tries to collect the ball and plays as a fake midfielder because he's not a midfielder, he's opening up space on the left hand side. That's why they were exploiting the left hand side. Zinchenko's not a good left back. When they put in Timber, things got much better, you know. So I like how he fixed that solution. Maybe next game he'll put in Timber instead of Zinchenko. Zinchenko must focus more on defending than playing on them in the midfield, because Zinchenko wants to be he always wants to be too classy. That's his problem. He wants to be too classy and too fancy. That will cost Arsenal. So Arsenal must focus more on team play. Mikel Arteta needs to focus more on Arsenal being a team playing that team play combination. Tell Rice to not attack more, because in that game Rice was attacking more. Rice must focus more on organizing the midfield, because Thomas Partey was failing to organize the midfield himself. He might have done it first half, but second half he almost completely failed. Not completely failed, but he almost completely failed in organizing the midfield, Thomas Partey alone. So Rice needs to focus more on helping Thomas Partey to organize and hold up the midfield and dominate the midfield. Now then in that way, they will be able to allow Odegaard and the front three, which will always be likely to be Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli, to attack more. You know, yeah, some people would prefer Trossard And I would also prefer Trossard. I'm very worried about Martinelli. There was something when he was standing up. There was it looked like there was a problem with him. Hopefully he doesn't get injured because we will need him from the Champions League. But I would prefer Trossard. Trossard. I think Martinelli more in the league than Trossard more in the Champions League. But to what I'm saying, why do I say this could have been a draw? If Wolves had a finisher, a great finisher, like someone who can finish and score, Wolves could have won, or the game could have been a draw. Although Wolves registered 9 shots and 3 were on target because of fantastic David Raya. David Raya proved why he got the Golden Glove last season and why he had 16 clean sheets. He proved that. He proved that today. He proved it. He proved why he's the best. He was the best goalkeeper last season. He proved why he's gonna continue being the best goalkeeper in the Premier League this season and coming to the other seasons. So if Wolves had someone who's a good finisher, because if you guys can see in the video, the ball gets dispossessed from Kai Havertz. It gets dispossessed. This is what I'm talking about, that whenever Wolves is in the half of Arsenal, they press Arsenal. That's what Arsenal wants. They want Wolves to press them. Then they want to get out of that situation by people collecting the ball. By these 3 players in Checo, Thomas Partey and Rice. But in most cases, when Zinchenko comes and collects the ball and the ball gets dispossessed, you guys now notice that the left-hand side is now open. That's the problem that was happening in that game. That's why I say Rice needs to focus more on helping Thomas Partey in moving the ball in the midfield than attacking. So yeah, they dispossessed the ball from Havertz. Gomez dispossessed the ball. He's able to give it to Hichan. Hichan takes the ball, cross it in, and they found Larson there. Good save by David Raya. A perfect save. Like the Spaniard. David Raya is from Spain, right? And I'm trying to think that wasn't this goalkeeper that was from Spain that when they won the Euro? It was Simon, right? He was the goalkeeper. That was in the final, in the Euro. He is the first choice for Spain. But if David Raya is a Spanish, David Raya is a Spaniard. David Raya deserves to be first choice. David Raya deserves to be first choice. That performance was outstanding. Outstanding performance. That was a fire performance. They are proving first game, clean sheet, well deserved from David Raya. Not every goalkeeper can be able to just twist because he twists his ribs, everything. That was already a deflection, but he twisted himself to make the save, and a wonderful save made by David Raya. But those are the question marks. Those are the question marks and the key to Mikel Arteta's solution. That yes, you're building from the back. Yes, there's no problem in building from the back because that's the system that most teams use this century. This 21st century, most teams use that system of building from the back and connecting play. But now the problem is that the way Arsenal builds it, it's very poor. The way Arsenal builds it, the way Arsenal builds it, you cannot tell your left back to drop in the midfield. No, you cannot do that. So those are the kind of things they need to fix. Hopefully next game they'll put in Timber instead of Zinchenko. But it then happened that Arsenal get the goal first off. The goal, it was when Saka assisted the ball for Havertz. But before I get in there, I wanna get into Wolves building. I said a few moments ago that Wolves played similar from Arsenal in terms of building play. They build the ball from the back. The problem with Wolves, they don't have the players to build from the back. I like how the Wolves coach thinks. It's O'Neill, I'm not sure about the name. I think it's Gary O'Neill. Yeah, I like how he's a great coach. He's a great coach. And if he continues with this play and they try to find a deadly finisher, or Lawson some way, somehow, does become a deadly finisher because he's still new, he was a debutant in this game, Wolves might just finish in the top 10. They might just finish in the top 10 or even in the top 8 because the way they play, they do not have quality players, but they've got the right coach. That's the thing. And even Wolves, they renewed his contract. That shows that the Wolves management sees potential to O'Neill. And me too, I see that. I see the way he is able to structure his team into playing. What he needs to do is to fix minor problems. Make them remember that they don't have quality players. Make the players remember that we're not a quality team. Make them remember. Because Wolves does build from the back. But in building from the back, they do not have that defensive midfielder who will be able to collect the ball and move it and go forward. They do not have. They put Lemina and Gomez. Gomez couldn't do that for them. Although Lemina was getting in between the centre backs, but he couldn't collect the ball and move, because you would see that now the centre backs actually they are good ball playing centre backs and couldn't compose. But now who is there to collect the ball and move? They have no one. They do not have. So the Wolves need two things: a deadly finisher and someone who's gonna be able to collect and rotate the ball for them. A good defensive midfielder. But yes, what I hate about Wolves, it's giving Arsenal a huge amount of space. They were giving Arsenal a huge amount of space. Whenever Arsenal is attacking, Wolves would drop. And in dropping, they would go inside there. There's a difference between dropping, but still, everyone that is in your half has got someone who's gonna man mark him. But then they would drop inside the box. And you're talking about Saka, very talented player, the star boy, the best youngster in the world. When he gets the ball, he has a vision. He can see. It's as if he knows what's gonna happen in the next few minutes. And you're talking about Havertz, who's very tall, he's able to get in the ball across in, as you guys can see in the video. He's able to get the cross in, and it finds Havertz. Havertz has it in. It's a goal. So those are the few things that Wolves need to fix. That, you know what, when let's not give players much space. Let's man mark. At least there must be someone man marking a player, because it was not only Saka, also Ben White. There was few shots that were taken by Ben White, and also when Martinelli took a shot, when Rice was opened, Rice was wide open. Martinelli could have given it to Rice if he had seen Rice, and obviously maybe Rice could have scored from there, because Rice does have a good right footer, So those spaces that they leave for the team when attacking and they just drop in the box, those things they need to fix, because they need to fix those things, because not every time it's gonna happen that when a player takes a shot, it will hit the body of the Wolves players, and it will bounce to be a corner kick, or they'll be able to pay it away. Not every time it will happen. Sometimes it will be a fantastic shoot and it's gonna be a goal. Sometimes it will be in that situation where Saka crossed the ball and Havertz heads it in and it's a goal. So those situations need to be fixed. They need to be fixed. But I also want to talk about Arsenal's bad start in the second half. Arsenal in the second half, they were not themselves. I don't know what happened, maybe behind the scenes, but they were not themselves. This is not the Arsenal we know, second half. And it made me worry. I even took my phone and played the game because I was bored. That's not the Arsenal I know. The Arsenal I know will put pressure. The Arsenal I know will play around with the ball. They will play like they are playing with little kids. Last season we made Wolves. I don't want to talk much, but those Arsenal fans, we know what we did to Wolves last season. But the way Wolves, they gave us second half. Wolves gave us trouble. They gave us trouble. We're even lucky to score. It goes back to what I said. Wolves giving Arsenal space. The Havertz is able to get the ball. When Havertz gives Saka the ball, Havertz provides Saka with the ball. And it talks about us, the Wolves' tactical awareness is very poor from the players. The free kick is taken very quickly. The awareness from the players is that every time when you're playing the game, no matter it's a free kick, your mind must be switched on, that anything can happen. But now their mind just slept. They just sleep. And it cost them big. Arsenal takes the free kick very quickly. They give it to Havertz, as guys can see in the video. Havertz takes the ball. He provides Saka. Saka is a 1v1. And it's very hard to challenge Saka on 1v1. I've noticed that left backs struggle to deal with Saka. And when every time a left back is able to deal with Saka, Arsenal then struggles to get the game going, which means Saka is their main man. So with Odegaard now if they carry on with this play where Rice and Thomas Partey will be given the role and duty to organize the midfield, and Odegaard will only be given the duty to focus on attack, that won't happen. That won't happen. And you guys will show what I'm talking about. I want a match where a left back is able to deal with Saka and Odegaard is given the duty to attack, and you guys will see that with Saka even shut down, Arsenal can still win. You know? Yeah. So they, again, as you guys can see in the video, they give Saka much space. They are busy doing. It's like when Wolves are in their half, they are zonal. They are playing zonal play. Zonal play is good, but don't give much space. There must be people marking some other players. They are giving Saka much space, and I'm very disappointed by how the player defended Saka. You know Saka's gonna cut in and shoot. Saka is a left foot on the right hand side, but you let him cut in. Why don't you try and block him from cutting in? So yes, you understand that the coach is coaching youngsters who he is building, but again, there's something great with the youngsters of Wolves. There's something great that the coach is building there, and in the next 2 seasons, if they're able to bring in 2 or 3 experienced players, Wolves can maybe make the top 6, top 5. I want you guys to keep that in your mind. In the next 2 or 3 seasons, if Wolves keeps this coach and they're able to bring few players, if for example if Neves was still there, Ruben Neves, it's Neves, right? The Portuguese player who is now playing for Al Hilal. Wolves could have made, there could have been a big difference in this game, because Wolves would have had someone who's gonna be able to collect the ball. I think that's what Wolves missing. They haven't replaced Neves yet. They haven't replaced him. Gomez and Lemina are not. They're not some. I would rather put one of them than find an actual defensive midfielder, because these two won't work out for Wolves. They will have their moments, but against big teams, they will showcase that they're not good midfielders. But again, I want to talk about Arsenal's problem, about the Wolves' approach. As I've said, whenever Wolves is in the half of Arsenal, they press Arsenal. And I liked how Wolves press Arsenal, because when they press Arsenal, Arsenal will try to move the ball around their half to try and get out and attack. But Wolves would then press that player with 2 or 3 players. And in most cases, they don't dispossess the ball from the player. They're able to intercept the ball, which means there were mistakes that Arsenal were making in the back. Like this one on the video. They're able to dispossess the ball from Thomas Partey. And when they dispossess the ball from Thomas Partey, Nori, the left back of Gomez, gets it and he shoots. So you kind of imagine if those shots that were coming from Wolves were on target. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Wolves could have won this game. If Wolves had 3 or 4 quality players, they could have won this game. The problem is that Wolves have got youngsters who are inexperienced, who haven't experienced enough to say, we can defeat Man City, we can defeat Arsenal, we can defeat Man United. Otherwise, Wolves does have the potentiality to defeat Arsenal. And Arsenal got lucky. They got lucky. They could have gotten a draw. And now, come match day 2, hopefully we'll see something different. And yeah, and that's it for today. And please do subscribe and hit the like button for more videos. Thank you.